What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of the Evo build. Today we're just kind of going through odds and ends and putting things together the way that they should be. I also got some things in the mail, nothing too major, but we're kind of at the stage in the build where I have to wait for things to come shipping wise before I can really do too much more to the car. There are some odds and ends I can take care of, but I'll show you what we got going on when we get to the shop. We'll see you there. Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to another update with the Evo. So we got a few things in the mail, as I just said. Nothing too important, but good nonetheless, I suppose. In the bigger rectangular box here, we have new Evo 8 floor mats. This did have Evo MR floor mats in it from an Evo that I had prior to this one. However, I put them in my daily and they kind of got destroyed. So I just bought new ones off eBay. I scored these bad boys, all four of them, and it says Evo 8 in the side of them for, I want to say, $59. So that was a pretty good deal. This right here is the relay that we're going to use to connect. If you guys remember in the past videos, I ran an auxiliary wire that's going to go from my fuse block here to this relay, which will turn on. It's got four different pins here. These two are the bigger leads. They're gonna come off of this big wire. One coming from the battery fuse, and then the other end going into the car. And then I'm gonna have to hook up a ground on this terminal. And on this one right here, if you guys can see, I know this thing's not focusing. We have to basically just hook up something that sends power when the ignition is turned. And I'm sure we can find something over yonder to do that with. So I really wanted to mount this thing like right here where the grounds are, but after getting it in the mail, I don't think it's gonna fit there very well. So we're gonna have to come up with a plan B of where we're gonna mount this thing. So we'll figure that out. So that's an important part that we got in the mail. This is basically what it looks like. It can be used for anything that's using high amperage or any kind of high current that you don't want to be spliced into your actual electrical system. So I'm just using a signal wire to basically connect all the auxiliary stuff in the car with this relay. So the more correct way to do things, at least I think so. So that's got to go in. That'll take a little bit. And then the rest of the stuff is all pretty simple. These are spark plug wire covers for a V8. Basically on a V8, the spark plugs and spark plug wires go in between the headers so they can get super hot. So they use these things to slide over the end of the spark plug wires to keep them from melting from the heat coming off the headers. I really only need one of these, so I'm gonna have 7 left, but basically I just wanted it for right here. I also got a turbo blanket coming for this thing too, so that'll help as well, but I just wanted to wrap it around these vacuum hoses right here because they're so close to the turbo right there. I don't want them to melt. So that was the plan with that. That's why I got those. I think I got this entire set for like $8 on eBay as well. Super cheap. In here, these are just paint markers for the tires. I'm going full ricer on this thing for you guys, and I'm going to paint our little logos here. The Hankook logo and the Venture V12 Evo Squared, or Evo 2, whatever you want to call it. So we got to do that. And then in this box right here is actually something I'm kind of excited about. This is from TurboGuard. And basically it's just a mesh filter that goes over my turbo inlet to keep things out of there. And I've made my own in the past and they never come out very good. You can use like a leftover 4-inch silicone coupler and some animal proof, mesh for like a screen door. And you can just cut it to size and then kind of slip it over and put a hose clamp on it. But it doesn't look the best. Like, it's usually, when I do it at least, it's usually pretty clearly like handmade and it doesn't come out very good. But this is supposed to be much better quality. So let's open this bad Larry up and see how she looks. Sorry my voice is like shaky, guys. It's absolutely freezing in here today. It's the middle of winter in New England, so temperatures are usually around 30 degrees or less. If you're not from the States and you use the Celsius system, I think that's like 0 degrees or a little under. So this is what it looks like when you first get it. Hopefully that's focusing because I can't really see the screen very well for you guys. And basically it's exactly the same thing I used to make with silicone couplers and screen door stuff, but it just looks a little nicer. So I slapped that turbo guard filter on, and I gotta say, this thing is way better quality than I was expecting. This is just kind of like printed, but it's also like sort of embossed, like engraved in there maybe. And the actual mesh that goes into here, although it's not steel, I don't think. I think this might, oh no, it is. That's definitely steel. It like goes into the side here, so you don't have to fight with it at all to get the thing on there. It's really awesome. It took me like literally 3 seconds to put that on. So if you have a car like this and your radiator, top radiator hose is like right in the way of the turbo outlet or inlet, I mean, this is a fair enough option. I mean, it's not going to protect you from everything, and I suppose your oil will get dirty pretty quickly because there's no actual filter catching all the really fine particles going through your system, but good enough. You know, for the amount that I'll drive this thing, probably 5,000 miles a year or less. So yeah, that is awesome. However, I bought these, and I'll put the link up on the video, but I bought these floor mats off eBay for 59 bucks, and I was really pumped on it because the floor mats that I actually need, the OEM ones, are kind of expensive, but they look a little bit cheesy. Like this should be closer to the edge here. It's not the exact right font, and this is supposed to say Evolution 8, like with the Roman numerals, but they didn't come that way. But I figure it's better than trashing my carpet, and they were cheap, 59 bucks instead of, I think the other ones are like 150, so they look okay. I'll live with them. I'll replace them eventually. Make sure those ones get trashed first though. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, guys, these are the paint markers that I'm going to use on my tires that came in. Really nothing all that special. They were like $5 for all 5 of them off eBay. And then these things. So the only real things I have left to do today, and it is Friday, so I got to get out of here for date night pretty quick, but I'm going to throw one of these little heat tubes over my vacuum lines right here so that they're somewhat protected from the heat coming off of my turbo when that thing starts ripping. And we're gonna see how far we can get with this little guy. I can definitely get the bigger leads hooked up, which will clean all this up, which will be nice. But I also got to figure out somewhere to mount it. My original plan was to mount it, like to put a stud where those grounds are right there, and to like put it on there, put the grounds on first, throw a nut over that, then this, then another nut. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work because this is too long. It doesn't fit very well, so I have to find a different idea or a different plan of action to mount this thing so that it, you know, easily accessible if we ever need to replace it, but also looks nice and clean and tidy. So I don't know. Alright guys, well, I'm gonna get started getting this guy on, our silicone hoses or our vacuum hoses. I'll set up a time lapse for you. Unfortunately today I did forget the bulk of my camera gear. I only remembered this one little Sony camera, so it's gonna be kind of a simpler video today. I apologize, not as much fancy B-roll or anything, but should be fine, right? Alright, let's go. Alright, so that's that. Basically, you just threw a little white dot on the top hose so I remembered which one it was, so I didn't forget when I threaded them through here. And yeah, that should protect it from a little bit of heat coming off there. We're still pretty close over here, but we have more, so if we have to continue and cut one to make it work here and here, we can do that, but I don't think that would look very good, so I'm hoping this will suffice, at least for right there. Alright, so other than that, we got to start working on this relay here. I just got to figure out where to put this. I'm not totally sure where it's going to go best, so yeah, back to the time lapse, and we'll see if we can figure out where to mount this little doohickey. Conveniently enough, I had an extra hole left in my Evo 10 relocation bracket here that I was able to sneak it underneath and kind of bolt it in there. So when I put that red cover back on here, this ugly relay will still be hidden, which will be awesome. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. And as another bonus, I can actually see the pinouts on the back of that relay, so I can read what numbers and like what goes where and everything like that. So it'll be a little bit easier to wire. So I'm gonna wire that up. While I'm at it, I think I'm gonna clean up my IAT wiring here because these butt connectors are less than attractive. So we'll take care of that. Maybe wrap this in some black electrical tape so it's not quite as ugly. And just generally clean up the wiring in here so when we get everything back from powder coat, we can literally put this thing together, put fluids in it, and yeah, have some fun with it. I'm super excited, guys. We're getting really close here. Everything's slowly coming together. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait! So yeah, here we go, back to it. We got it most of the way there. I'll show you what we got going on here. We actually mounted the relay underneath the Evo 10 fuse block here, so it's still hidden. It'll still be hidden by that red cover. I ran my two different wires to that, the in and out coming from our fuse block here. We had a ground, one of the small grounds for the signal wire, and then this actual signal wire itself. Sorry about that, can't seem to talk. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to check to make sure this works. We want to hear noise come out of that relay, and we also want to see the stuff inside work. So this is going to be a little bit tricky, I think, to do with one hand, but we'll give it a go. Alright, so I'm just going to snag that lug right there with the wire. Hopefully it stays. Oh, I hear noise coming from the inside. That's good. Okay. And things are on. That's good news. Perfect. So we just have to find a spot now to terminate that is keyed by our ignition. So I just need to find something that provides a 12-volt signal whenever the car is on and remains on. So let's go ahead and do that, and that will be done. We'll be completely done with our little relay there for our external fuse block for all our accessories. And yeah, it's looking pretty good, guys. Things are going pretty well. Pretty much everything that came in the mail today is on. Just our little tubey guy here, our little filter guy here, our relay over there, and our floor mats. And that's everything for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I'm sorry this is kind of a quick one today. I forgot the rest of my camera gear, so I had to do everything on this camera with limited battery and card space. So an update anyway. She's coming along, she's getting there. I'm hoping next week will be the week that I take you guys to the gas station to get gas, to put in the can, to bring back gear, and to actually physically start this thing. Oh, and we gotta go to Best Buy and buy a laptop. I got a gift card for Christmas to Best Buy, so I'm gonna go buy like a really cheap netbook for like 200 bucks or something like that. That's a dedicated computer for this car that I can leave in the glove box at all times. So that's where we're at. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you would, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it. And if you really like watching me work on this car, mess it up, or just get dirty and disgusting, make sure you hit the bell next to that subscribe button. That way you can stay in tune with what's going on over here with the Evo. And once we're done with the Evo, we're gonna move on to the Skyline. And then, once I get rid of this bike over here, I got something real special for you guys that I'm so excited about, but I'm not gonna tell anybody about it yet. But yeah, oh yeah, things are happening. So stay tuned. I hope you guys liked the video. See you next time.